No, good. Been a interesting day so far already. How are you today?
I'm fine. What is so interesting this morning?
Well, I discovered first off when I was on my way out in the dark that the coons apparently, well, I think it's the raccoons, are active again and they killed one of my chickens. And then little later I saw I believe it was a meteorite going across the sky and it was green, and I've never seen anything quite like it before. And I guess I looked it up. They can be green if they're made of magnesium. So I think it was a meteorite. It just went across for a long time, but it was a bit obscured because of the trees in the valley that I was in. And yeah, and then for the third time, there was kind of a mix up at the mail plant, which never happened before until recently, um, that they forget to send an express bag out with my stuff. So they call me, my boss calls me, I'm on the road, and I stop at the nearest town and wait for another guy to bring it to me. So this morning he had a kind of a triangular shaped package instead of a bag, but it was express. So everything was just kind of, it's like right after the meteorite, I get this call from my boss, and I thought, wow, it's really strange this morning. So that's about it. What do you know?
This morning, yes, opened with a storm. Like we're going through a storm for a couple of days, so it's one of those days under the storm.
Like,
And
oh, another one.
yes, so we're trying to make the best of it and to connect. And
Yeah,
yes, this is the most I think sane thing to do is to connect. And in a way, though we live in different continents and we are different, we grew with different upbringing, we experience life in little portions. And when we share those moments, we see that they're not that different. Because here, if we experience a unusual sequence, yesterday was very, very unusual morning here, very, very unusual from all dimensions. And
really.
yes, and here now you speak about your morning, which is so different.
Yeah,
Yes,
really different. Really different. Yes, but
you.
the sun is shining now. Yeah, and it was only 1 degree above 0 Fahrenheit this morning as well. But we're supposed to get, you know, next week like real spring weather, so like 50s and 60s even.
Wow, that's good. That's
So we're
good.
looking forward to that. But
Good,
and
good
the
to.
hills there are blooming and everything there in Israel.
At the moment, yes, yes, they're blooming, but there's like, how do you say, there's a storm covering the region. So there's like dark blue sky with very, very low temperature, like a very frosty feeling outside the house. But the fields and everything is blooming. Is Nobody had seen such blooming. Never. There is no evidence to what is happening this year. Never before. Never, never. In terms
Yeah, that's
of
fascinating.
yeah, nature speaks.
Well, that's a beautiful speech. That kind of speech. It's great to hear about that.
So I'm very
Encouraging.
thank you. I'm very glad that you joined us this morning. Very, very glad. Because when we speak to each other and we share moments, it doesn't seem so horrible because maybe it's unusual to our, I would say, private sequence. But when we share those moments together, we see it comes out even, and it's relaxing somehow because we don't feel disconnected, obscure, or abandoned anymore.
Yeah, yeah. for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been taking to heart your our last class too with the good smells. As a matter of fact, I've got a lavender mint leaf candle burning right next to us here
Good.
right now.
Good. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. And we have two friends here this morning, Fernando and Jill. Good morning. We are so happy that you're here.
Hello. Hello, Fernando. Hello, Jeff. How are you, Etty?
I'm fine. How are you, Jill?
Shalom.
I'm doing good.
Good to hear your voice. It's a beautiful
Yes,
chapter. Thank you so much.
it is. It's really
Greetings.
fascinating. I have one to put up as soon as this conversation is over, actually. I was up early trying to get it done.
Nice.
But
It's
yeah,
a
it is really amazing.
It is creative, this chapter. It was like a storytelling. And Vanner was telling a story through a sequence that we did not think and we cannot even forecast. But this is how life roll. And I find this chapter, I would like to listen to it a few more times because it's so beautiful. Thank you,
Yes,
Jill.
it's amazing. You're welcome.
Good morning, Fernando.
Shalom, Eti. Shalom, Jeff and Jill. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
shalom, Fernando.
Shalom.
Great to hear you all, friends. I'm happy to be here, Eti, and it's good to hear your voice. And around here, we are in changing seasons as well. It's getting colder and colder every day, but the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day. So it's a changing weather as well, like in Haifa.
Thank you for sharing. And Shabbat Shalom to Victoria. Victoria is here on YouTube. Shabbat Shalom, Victoria. Thank you for joining us this
Shabbat
afternoon.
shalom, Victoria.
Hello, Victoria.
Yes,
Hello. Hello.
she will hear
You
us
got
in.
all those beautiful decorations too.
Yes, yes. She's always decorating the chat room. It's
Uh,
so nice and warm and pleasant to look at the chat room here. So nice. Thank you, Victoria. In 2 minutes, she will hear us because there is a delay of 2 minutes until they are able to
Okay,
see the voice. It takes 2 minutes or so. And
okay.
thank you so much. And I would like to start with the open board, if this is possible. Unless if you would like to share something before we start.
Well,
Okay.
go ahead.
So let's start here with the whiteboard, and I'm sure that soon Victoria, I think Victoria and you people on YouTube can see the same whiteboard. So we have here Psalm 67, and there is here a painting. The question is, what would you like to start with? This is an open question, like every session, and please feel free to share your choice.
That is a amazingly beautiful painting of an olive orchard by Van Gogh, apparently.
Yes, yes. So
Can
what?
can we focus on it?
Sure, sure. Yes, of course. And I hope that on YouTube we can see this as well. 1 second. Let's focus. It was painted in 1889. Yeah. I think we have a full view. Yes. Who would like to describe us what we see and what is the impression that we get from this painting? Who would like to start, please?
It definitely looks like it has a lot of movement, a lot of flow in different directions. There's a lot of blue and green and some orange in the picture. There's a tree in the middle, almost the center of the painting. Some blue sky is showing through at the top.
Thank you. what gives the sense of blue color except the skies above? Why under? This is an interesting question that I ask myself too. What is happening under the olive tree that the painter chose? Maybe he saw also blue color. What gives us the sense of blue?
It seemed like
In,
it would be the reflection. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yes, please.
no, go ahead. That's fine. That's fine. Go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it would be a reflection, but maybe a shadow. I'm not for sure
Yes,
either.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I was thinking too, Jill. The shadows.
the
Yeah.
shadow. Yes, yes. And especially, this is very interesting. The shadow here appears as blue. And I was reading, since we have a friend, Michelle, from Australia, and she lives in Blue Mountains. I was reading today, this morning, about Blue Mountains, and the name Blue, yes, the name Blue Mountains was given because around in the area there's eucalyptus trees growing.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and the
Eucalyptus trees.
yes, Jeff, I did not hear.
I was confirming what you said, the eucalyptus trees.
Yes, and they give special oil. They, how to say, they radiate special oil
Yeah,
to the
as a
air.
matter of fact, after our class, I went by this shop and they had eucalyptus oil there, and I thought about getting some.
It's amazing because, yes, Jeff?
So you say they radiated into the air?
They radiate their oil fragrance into the air, and when people look, because they release this kind of oil to the air, and when people look at the mountains, since they release their oil into the air, when we look at the mountain, we have the sense that the mountains are blue. But what is really happening is that the eucalyptus oil is like resonate. How do you say? Is
Wow.
yes, yes,
That's completely amazing. Wow.
yes.
So there, I have another connection with that quick too. Our daughter's getting married in August, and she picked for her wedding colors eucalyptus green, and I'm not kidding.
Wow,
Yeah,
Right.
it's a healing tree. Yes, it has a
Yeah.
healing effect on the
You-
breathing, basically on air.
you know Georgie, because we've had connections with her before about Van Gogh paintings.
Yes, Mazel Tov for the wedding.
Mazel tov. Yes.
We're very happy.
I'm going
Yes.
to tell her about this painting and your discussion and your discovery.
And this is interesting because now let's try to connect between the oil that the eucalyptus, I'm not sure how to pronounce it in which language. Let's try to
However
connect.
you want, Hetty.
Thank you. Let's try to connect the facts. The eucalyptus resonate, release this oil to the air. And this is what gives us the sense that the mountains that we see in Australia are blue. Because the oil of the eucalyptus is hovering in the air. And this is what gives us the screen or the sense of the mountains being blue. Now, let's keep this, fact in our mind and look at the olive tree here in the plantation, in the painting. What is the olive tree? Resonates. What does the olive tree stand for? What does it produce in general?
For the for the eighth day.
Yes.
For
Go
the
ahead.
eighth day.
It's like Moses and Aaron. You speak like Moses and Aaron when the Shekhinah is speaking from them. They speak together. Yes, yes, and each one
Sorry-
says
sorry
please to
for
the
that.
other. No, and each one says please to the other. So this is this is how the Lord describes their speech. Please continue. Yes.
Thank you. No, just pointing that Weinreb speaks that the olive resembles the eighth day, because
Yes.
it brings the shaman, right?
Yes. Yes.
Shemona.
Yeah.
Yes. That's correct. The shaman, the shemona. Yes. When it how to say release this oil, and we get a sense of blue, not just the shadow, because also there's like radiation from the leaves and everything, because it takes the carbon, how do you say, carbon in the air and turns it into oil. This is the quality of the olive, not just also other trees as well, but in the olive tree it's beautiful because we see the same effect that we have with the eucalyptus. He managed to catch it. It is a combination, I would say, of shadow and the oil in the air.
And it's an oil painting, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm just completely amazed by this. Please continue. It's a man. It's beyond words.
And Jill
It's
said,
amazing.
thank you. And Jill said that there is a movement here. There is a lot of tension. It is so alive. This is the tension that I would say now in the 20th century, maybe everybody's looking to have a leisure and to have a relaxation mode and to rest, which is sometimes nice to rest for a moment, but not to rest and to disappear in non-tension. This is the danger. I think that there is a danger of resting until infinity and enjoying every moment with a coffee or with a food dish, or just losing tension. This is the opposite, I would say, mode. He notices that everything is alive at the moment, and he catches this tension, the living tension. Because if there is no pulse, there is no tension, everybody disappears into their imaginary reality. And he managed to unify everything, and this is the life tension. It's movement, but also alive. It feels alive. Because I was having since I was planning to read with you Psalms today, and I was looking for paintings that will at least give a sense of what is happening in the verses. And I went into Google Art, and I found under the title different painting, but none of the paintings was speaking to me like this and the other one that he made with a sheaf, like bundles of sheaves of barley or wheat coming together. So I would like to share it with you, and especially the blue shadow under the olive tree, which really was speaking to the blue mountains and the eucalyptus and all of this, because what we yes.
It's just to ask Jeff, since we are so connected around the world, and this is a miracle, and Jeff is always so aware about these synchronicities, and I wish to share just one synchronicity that happened. That is,
Yes.
yesterday I was reading something about Abulafia,
Yes.
and what I read brought me to the classes, because in those times he explains about this paradox that we see in the Hebrew language, and how to connect everything in a different level. Like when we are here in the lowest level in Nefesh, we can see an opposition of things, But when we go to the numbers, we can see qualities and affinities and a circular thinking. He speaks about circular thinking.
Yes.
So it's not an opposition, but it's a different manifestation of the same root. And he was speaking about that, and and I took one question that I was willing to bring to you it, and it was about the blue collar, because I read that in the beginning the talit had one line of blue, and the rabbis after took out this blue collar of the talit, saying that it was not possible anymore to make that color or something like this. And and Abulafia says that the blue color is related with the prophecy. When one can go to Ruach, when one can go to the other level, and go to these qualities that you teach so openly to the world, and it's everywhere. It's just to have the pure heart to engage with it. And he speaks that this blue color of the talit, that it's related with the prophecy, that anyone can access this prophecy, but in former times we do not have anymore this blue color on talit. Just sharing this, and I don't know if you could speak about this quality of the blue and
So,
why.
Fernando, you're saying a blue color that isn't around anymore? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, because in the Torah, I think that it says that the talit needs one little line of blue, but in former times we do not have anymore. The people who wears this talit do not use more the blue, only the white color. And the explanation is that they do not know which blue it was needed to make it. This is
Oh,
the literal explanation.
yeah, yeah.
But maybe it's just this quality of going beyond the manifested.
Yes,
It's hidden. The blue is hidden.
yes, yes. If I may, I would like to relate to your question in different levels. Words and stories. So it seems that the word for blue in the Bible, in the Torah, 1 second, I'll bring the board here. I'll take the color. I would like to relate to the blue from two angles, from Weinreb angle and from the Torah, and from Abulafia, because he thinks about the word that the Torah uses for light blue. It is here tchelet. 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 One second, I lower. Tchelet. And if we give it a number, this is the word from the Torah for blue. Tchelet. This is kaf. So we have 420, 30, and 400. How much do we have together?
850.
850. What happens if we put the 0 outside? Because 0 is not a number. In Arabic, they write a 0 like a dot. It's like nothing. So
We're one shy of Elohim.
yes, so we have 85. Very good. 85 is the value of the term word in Hebrew. Milah.
Mila.
Yes, milah, word. Like in John 1:1. Yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
just like that.
Yes. So, and we were speaking about when we were speaking about the fact that Sarai went into Egypt And the word, you remember, Fernando? The word is expressed in a manifestation. Fernando?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is the relation? Why now? Let's go into his head of Abulafia. He was a prophet and he was a sage. He lived in the 12th century. Yes, let's try to connect. Why only, so to speak, prophet used to wear the blue color? They can bring what? They have access to what?
The prophecy or
Yes,
the word?
to the word. Do you see,
The word.
Fernando?
Yes.
Yes. This is from, let's say, one aspect, like try to access the reading that you had. Another aspect is that they used to produce the blue color from the blue snail. Have you seen the blue snail? It grows here in the Mediterranean Sea. Zeno, I think,
Yeah.
ancient Zeno, he was used to collect those snails and bring them to Greece or the Greek islands. And one day he lost his ship in a storm, and he came with nothing, and he just went up to the shore and went to Athens, and I think he learned or taught wisdom, something like that. But he was trading with the blue snail. From the blue snail, people could produce 3 colors: blue, purple, and deep red purple. The blue snail, when you walk here on the summer between here to Greece on the shore, Israel, Lebanon, you will see those blue snails. From them, yes,
You can still see them, huh?
yes, their name is porphyron. You call them porphyron. Porphyron, from the word porphyron, we have purple.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
Even that when the Romans came here in history, they named the region from Haifa to Lebanon. Now we have cities, Haifa and other cities in Lebanon, but they used to call this shore that brings, or in it you can find the blue snail, they used to call this region Porphyron on the account of the blue snail.
Huh. Wow. Porphyron.
Porphyron, yes.
Porphyron.
Porphyron. Many, if you type those letters in Google, you will find families of words that has to do with everything that appears in nature that has a purple color, whether it's a seaweed or a blue snail or everything. If you type those letters on Google, you will find pages. Yes. It means purple. Everything that radiates purple.
Wow.
Yes. And another aspect, Fernando, about the blue is what Weinrib gives about the blue. When Weinrib speaks about the blue, he speaks about the modern color blue, which we name here kahol. 1 second. I'll move a bit here. Kahol. Here's the pen, 1 second. Kahol has the value of 58. I think in German language they call it kayal, something like this, kayal or coal. Like there's a in a coal itself, there is a sense of blue. Coal. If you look at coal from close, you see like blue, coal blue.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is amazing, because 58 is nach, that you are speaking of, to rest, and also ren, that is grace,
Noah.
and also
Yeah.
Noah, yes, and Chochmah star.
Yes.
So this is why the institutional religion lost the ren, the grace, and the Chochmah star. Maybe.
Yes, you're right. But look at the picture now. I will open the map onto. Look at the structure of numbers. Here, a word is what? 85.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. 58.
Yes. It's, you see, this is a pure number realm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tchelet, here, tchelet, techelet. This is the light blue. Sorry, I have to correct one word. 1 second.
I think in the scroll of Esther, Weinred said something about that being a very special number, 58, didn't he?
Yes, 58, yes. This is very, very interesting because 58 is the value also of Ozen. Ozen is ear. Somebody asked me, I think Michelle asked me, Ozen, ear. 1 second, I have to move the board. 1 second. Excuse me, because I don't have enough here. Ozen is ear, like say this is an ear. It is 58 in Hebrew.
I forgot about that.
Yes. And pe, yes, and pe, mouse, is 85. So pe, mouse is 85, word is 85, but the ear that receives the word is 58.
58, yeah. But it seems that they work together then. There's opposites in a way.
Yes.
One's giving, the other's receiving.
Yes, I think that Fernando wrote it in his last post. Fernando, do you remember? In the post that you wrote about the Shekhinah that we published on Discord?
Yes.
Yes, you said from mouth to ear. That the wisdom,
Yes.
you remember? So from mouth,
Wow,
85 to ear, 58.
Goes out 85 and pops in 58.
Yes.
Because it's an opposite relation.
Yes, you speak 85 words by mouth and we can hear it. 58 here. Isn't it?
Yeah, the structure of creation is how
yes.
it's designed precisely designed.
Yes.
But to see it in letters and in numbers makes it all the more profound.
Yes. And when we see, like you say, with letters and numbers, what happens is cleaning or clearing of filters. Because when people go to the world and they open internet site and we get all kinds of unpleasant news or information, it is happening in the world. It's not that it's not happening.
Conjecture.
Yes, projection.
A lot of conjecture.
Yes.
Conjecture not based on truth, just conjecture.
Yes. And now this is why it is so important to have those conversations and to connect to each other and to pay attention. How is the daily, daily occurrence happening to each and every one of us? This is very important. It's not just random details. And when we are synchronized with each other, it's very, very important. Very.
Yeah. So you like to hear these stories then
It is
that we
important
tell.
because it is like coordination, it's a navigation map. It's not random, it's a navigation map.
Yeah, it's not random. It's stuff is happening all the time, speaking. And it's I know what the Lord's saying one thing. But he must have really caused you to bring this verse today then, huh?
I was walking today in the storm, and people are not walking in the storm outside. And suddenly the verse was singing, Eretz natna yevula, meaning the earth already had given its yielded fruit or its goodness. And I came home and I looked and I found the verse on Psalms, and it has a beautiful mathematic structure.
Oh,
But
can you hear that?
yes, and what is more important, that it caused me to how do you say, open this class, because I was not sure on Thursday what will happen. I could not say, because everything is moving here so fast, and I didn't know. But around 1:30, 2 Israel time, the verse came, and when the verse is coming, I let the verse in, so I communicate to you. And this is what happened. I could not on Thursday say what is going to happen, because it's very, very unusual week. So here it comes. If you want, we can open this verse.
Yes, please. I mean, it seems to be the crux or the purpose of the class.
But before we
That
move,
verse.
thank you. Before we move to this verse, are there any questions? Jill, Fernando, would you like to share something before we move?
The painting. I'm sorry. The painting itself kind of reminds me of our weather right now, because it's a lot of movement. It's a lot of wind right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you said that, um, sometimes we get stuck in like a certain cycle, everything was completely calm. And then last night, everything kind of went kind of crazy, and everything is blowing around. And so it just kind of reminds me of how the weather is here.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It is how it is here, Jill, as well.
Wow.
And I was walking. There is a little neighborhood next to us, and they planted a few years ago olive trees. I was not aware. It is very interesting that you mention it, because I was not aware that was my way. I just felt the wind, very, very hard storm, and I googled the verse. I found it on Psalms, and I was looking for a while for the right picture, and this how came the olive came, and I was not aware even until now that I was walking in an olive plantation when the verse came to me. Until you
Wow.
mention
Nice.
it.
Nice. Olive trees,
Amazing.
they're just sacred and just wow. I know it's the word and everything, the words and all that, but just how the Bible talks about them and things too. So beautiful. You were walking amongst olive trees, huh?
I didn't notice until this moment,
Yeah,
because I was listening to the wind,
yeah.
and from the wind it came.
Mm. From the Spirit it
Yeah.
came.
Yes. So now, yes, let's read Psalm 67, and let us focus on one verse. But first, who would like to read Psalm 67?
You can read
Thank you.
all 8 verses.
Yes, if possible.
Okay. For the leader with string music, a psalm, a song. God be gracious unto us and bless us. May he cause his face to shine toward us, Selah. That thy way may be known upon earth, thy salvation among all nations. Let the peoples give thanks to thee, O God. Let the peoples give thanks to thee, all of them. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy, for thou wilt judge the peoples with equity and lead the nations upon earth, Selah. Let the people give thanks unto thee, O God. Let the peoples give thanks unto thee, all of them. The earth hath yielded her increase. May God, our own God, bless us. May God bless us, and let all the ends of the earth fear him.
Thank you, Jill. I
You're
would
welcome.
like you. Yeah, I like when you read because everybody can hear you, and Michelle is very happy as well because she's always on the phone. So thank you so much.
Hi, Michelle.
In the Blue Mountains.
Yes, yes.
She
So
brings that inspiration to us.
yes, yes, because what is happening on Discord, just one sentence, it's not linear. So sometimes people are writing comments, posting pictures, but maybe not at the moment, but day or 2 days later, a discussion is being held, and those terms that people mention are coming into our lives. So maybe sometimes people feel that we don't immediately relate to what they share, sing, or post as pictures, but it comes together, like what happened today. Thank you, Jeff, for commenting on YouTube. Thank you, Victoria. And
Yeah,
let's.
she saw the flowers in the painting, the red flowers, so that was a
Wow.
nice comment.
Yes, yes. So, verse 7 says in Hebrew, Eretz Natna Yevula, the land had already given its yielding. And I would like to relate to this part just those 3 words. The land had already given its yielding. It means that not just land, ground, or soil. Eretz is the will. The divine will already had given its yielding fruit. Let's look into it. Aleph. I'm sorry, I will change the color that it will be more seeable here. So we have, what we do here is to decode the verse. We shall take every first letter, Aleph, Nun, and Yod. From those 3 letters, what word can we create? Fernando?
Or
Yeah?
Ein,
Ain. What is Ain?
nothing, nothingness.
Nothing. But what else? This is the beginning of what? Which sphere is...
Ein.
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
Fernando?
yes, Keter. It's Keter. Keter.
Yes, yes. Ain, nothing, is the name of crown. Keter, the upper sphere. And it refers to what? To Ein Sof, or to infinite. The question is, what did this verse wants to tell us if we read the verse in this way? Eretz Natna Yevula, the land or the divine will was already what? Given to us. We just have to receive it. Everything had been given to
Wow.
us through the thought of creation. Everything had been given to us.
Because it's the tree of life.
Yes,
Giving it is fruit. It is fruit. It's giving fruit, but it is fruit, as Vine Rib.
yes, yes, and
Um,
that's, yes, please say, Jeff.
I was just saying he brought it out of the Hebrew words that this is what's happening with the tree of life.
That's true. And Natna, the land or the divine will was already given. 1 second, I'll put the right ink into it. 1 second. Natna. The divine will already gave. Natna is like Nathan. Natan gave,
Yeah.
but with the letter He. So if Nathan or Natan is 500 plus 5, we have 505. Taking the 0 outside, we have 555 or 25, and its root again, it's the diagonal of the triangle. The divine will had already given to us everything. And now why people are yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to
No,
interrupt you. Please
no.
go on.
No, please, Fernando, speak.
I was just looking at the verse, and if we continue following this operation of the first words,
Yes.
all the other letters are related with the number 1, Yod, Aleph, and Aleph.
Yes, that's true.
And
yes, it's
you
true.
know, because we already received this tree of life, this mohim, and this loving kindness. We already have the gold, you know, because it came from the hidden. We just need to collect it inside of us.
Yes, it's amazing. Now I will color the first letter of each word, and I would like to show, to present, to share, not to share the structure. Eretz here has the Aleph. I will mark the Aleph like this. Here we have another Aleph, second Aleph, and here we have third Aleph. So we have 3 Aleph. Remember, 3 times Aleph. Now we have 1 Nun, which is 50, 1 Yod, which is 10, another Yod, which is 10. Together they're what? How much are they together? 10 plus 10 plus 50?
70.
Excellent. Now let's look at the tree of life. 1 second. Yes, Fernando?
It is incredible, yes.
We have 3 upper spheres. Aleph, Aleph, Aleph. I shall be that I shall be. What God told Moses in the burning bush. Aleph, Aleph, Aleph. I shall be, Eheye, Asher, Eheye. This is the 3 upper spheres. And now we have 70. So we have 7 lower spheres. This is the structure of the verse.
We also have 111 like 111.
Excellent. Yes. 111, which is, yes, 1, 1, 1, which is the structure, yes. This is the structure of the Aleph, or when we write the Aleph in its filling, this is also 111. Everything had already been given to us, and what we are lacking in a way is just the right moment that we encounter. We have the encounter which was in the intention to be given to us. I repeat, everything had been already given to us. What we lack sometimes is the sense of the receiver in us. So we lack a distinction. The distinction inside of us makes
Abdullah.
Avdallah. Yes, Avdallah.
Yeah, Abdullah.
Yes. But everything is complete.
So we lack the distinction is all
Yes.
to receive it.
Yes. Many times in the Bible we find the same structure. Natati, I had already given. The verb is written in the past. Natati, I've given. Everything had been given. The name Nathan, Natan, is written in the past. What we are lacking is the sense of the connection to the root, and then that we receive. But everything had already been given to us. What we lack is the recognition, or the havdalah, or the distinction.
See,
Yes.
this is so beautiful because it came so many things to my mind, even through alchemy that says that we need gold, and people to make gold. We need gold to make gold. That
Yes.
statement in the alchemy.
Yes.
But the gold we already have the gold,
Yes.
inside of us.
Yes.
And the second thing that came to my mind is it's amazing because if we think about the universe and the infinite, and we think about the greatness of everything, and if we think about this verse that everything was made to the human, everything is already done to us, to each one of us, to the human soul. It makes me think how let's say unthankful we are, and how unaware we are about the miracle of life and the greatness of the creation.
Yes.
Eddie, I had a kind of a side question here, if it's all right.
Yeah, of course.
I was wondering if there's anything significant. We're in this, the Hebrew calendar would call it Adar, and then eventually, I looked it up the other day. I think it's April 15th is Nisan.
Yes.
And we're kind of walking in a similar correlation to what Weinreb is talking about in the book of the scroll, I should say, the scroll of Esther. And the 13th of Adar he talks about, and everything. So I was just wondering if there's anything significant in the Hebrew calendar today, or I know all of this, we're not to be like constellational and all of that kind of thing like Haman was, but it's interesting though, just to kind of see where we're at with the Hebrew view of things.
So you're asking what is the day today in terms of...
So is today anything? Is it...
Oh, today is the Shabbat, but at the 16th of March, it's going to be the fast of Esther. There's a day fasting, 16.
Okay.
We're heading Purim this year because of this pregnant year, like 2 Adars. So we have a delay of 1 month. So what was it? Wednesday the 16th of March, there is a fasting day. Some people fast. And the Purim itself is on the 17th and the 18th this coming week.
Okay. And then So the 13th of Adar is when the fast starts. Is that right?
Yes.
That's when they were fasting.
Yes.
The
It is
13th, which is
some
actually
people get
March
Yeah.
16th.
Yes, please, again. I did not hear Fernando, Jeff.
just one question, please. Is I heard once that some people get 3 days of fasting. Is that right? Because of the scroll of Esther, I think it mentioned 3 days of fasting.
Yes, the Megillah itself, in the Megillah itself, Esther herself, like according to, we read, I think, with Felipe this week, that she was fasting 72 hours. We were mentioning the 72 hours. You remember? It's like 3 days. The Megillah says, the scroll of Esther says. So there is a difference, Fernando, between what is written in the scroll and what is happening on the ground.
Yeah.
In our time, people barely fast 12 hours. So, but it's not a fasting of not eating. What is mentioned in the scroll of Esther is to minimize. It's something to minimize the appearance. This is it. So, did I answer your question, Fernando?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I think Felipe was mentioning the transition between Esther chapter 4 and 5. In this bridge, it says like 3 days. So yes, the scroll of Esther mentions 3 days. Yes, and
Yeah,
it's not
yes.
it's not physical fasting. People translate it as physical fasting. What can we do? But what had remained until our times is the fast of 1 day. It's the 13th of Adar. What happens, because Adar is, this year we have, this is very interesting that you mentioned this, because the fasting is usually in the 13th of the 12 months. How much is 13 double 12?
13 multiplied by 12.
Yes, it's 156.
I believe you.
Yes, we have 130 plus 26 is 156. What is 156? Yes?
Go ahead, Fernando.
Yes, Fernando?
I cannot remember right now.
Joseph.
But I think it's six times tetragrammaton.
6 times tetragrammatons. This is Joseph, the spirit. Yes. This is what we get from when we look at the numbers, at pure numbers. This is 6 times 26, or Joseph, or this is Joseph, or Zion, the spirit, or Ezekiel. All of them are 6 times 26 or 1312. It has a meaning. Now this year, it's the fasting is, since we have 2 Adars, it's the 13th of the 13 months, because we have 1 extra month, not just 12 months. We have 13 months. This is why we say that the year is impregnant with love. So this is 169 plus 1.
We're in the 13th month, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And 170 is 10 times good, because 17 is good in Hebrew. Tov.
Yeah, it is. Good. Tov.
Tov. Questions? Jill, Fernando, Victoria.
I have a question.
Yes.
So if it's not physical, you said minimize the appearance.
Meaning,
what does that mean?
what does it mean? Not to engage with the world.
Okay.
Not to take so much. People usually think of fasting, of not eating and drinking, but not to take too much input from external things. This is what it means. To live more with the spirit. This is what it means.
Thank you.
Not to take in so much noise that is happening outside, what people speak, what's running on the news. Not to drink this wine, yes? Too much.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Fernando? Jeff, questions? Victoria?
Was there some kind of a link with like Pisces too? The two fish and things.
Yes, yes, we had the two fish. You mean the mosaic that we have? That from the Galilee? This is what you're speaking of? The two fish? Mosaic?
Well, I think the the thing Viner was talking about was Haman was looking at the timing of things in the constellation Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? I think.
Yes, yes.
And that's two fish, I guess. And he didn't see the two sides of it. He just saw his side of that the timing was in favor of him, and the annihilation or elimination of the Judaim or the Jews, I guess. And but it turned it was the elimination of him actually, because apparently I didn't know this, but Weinrib saying that Moses was born and left this world on the same day.
Yes, yes.
So that's apparently correct.
Yes.
And that's kind of a real astounding timing to think about that. But so that, how does that fall in relation to Adar? We got the fasting on the 13th or the 16th of March, but how does that fall?
Yes, Moses was born at the 7th of Adar. And
so when would that be?
It was already. It was. 7th of Adar was. When was it? I can look at the calendar. It was.
Yeah.
And this year it was 10th of March was 7th of Adar.
So a couple days ago then.
Yes. But let's understand what Weinreb is saying. Moses was born in the 7th of Adar. The word fish in Hebrew, fish, is dag. Dag.
Right.
The word dag has a value of 7.
Right.
So Moses was born at the 7th of Adar. Yes, because it's one fish, let's say. How shall I make one fish? Just to explain this idea. Let's say this is one fish. Yes, he was born in the 7th of Adar. 7th, because this is Dag is 7. But he also died at the same day.
So we got 7 again.
So we got, yes. And then...
And that gives us 14, which is 1 to 4.
Yes. Yes.
Because Dalet is 4 and Gimel is 3. That's how we get 7.
Yes. And
then we
Haman...
double it.
Yes. And Haman took only 1/7 into consideration. The 7
Right.
that he knows as great astrologer. He did not take into consideration the other 7, the hidden.
The hidden 7.
The hidden 7, the menorah. This he did not take into consideration. Only the 7.
Only the manifest.
Yes, this is it.
And everything has an equal proportion, in a sense, on the unseen side of things.
Yes, like we were saying, you remember this diagonal. There is the manifested, if we take the rectangle, or there is the manifested. This is what Haman saw. He couldn't see the other side. What Abulafia says, Fernando, how we call it? Circular thinking? Fernando, are you here?
Yes, yes, it's circular because it's not opposite, you know. It's like exactly what you do here, and you call it like parallel thinking. It's the
Yes.
same.
Yes. So Haman, he was what? Looking into the revealed reality. Haman, this is for him what he sees, the stars, the constellation. And here he looked only at the manifested 7. He did not see the other part. Here, the heavenly 7.
Which is basically foolish to do that, you know, because you got half the story, and as Weinreb says, it's the same thing as taking a chance.
Yes.
Even though you got it all figured out on one half of it by the manifest, it's no different than a game of cards, he said, what appears to be chance. But the fact of the matter is there's no chance involved, because the other side has the purpose to what we see here. It's designed. It's perfectly structured and designed. It's not chance. Only if you look at it from a half perspective does it seem to be chance, or how he describes it is coincidence.
Yes.
Just a matter of coincidence. But it's not that. It's a perfectly sent and ordered timing of things.
Yes.
By God's timing, by the other side of it.
Yes. This is why we should not also be afraid from the news. The news, the constant information, updates that comes in a news flash is always making people very upset. People are very afraid when they're exposed to different kind of upsetting news. But it's not news. It's just a flash of bad mood, because people see only the manifested. Nobody sees the divinely design behind all of this.
Right. It's just a false impression. A false impression of how things are if it's only from the manifest.
Yes. Yes.
And like you say, there's no sense in being upset by the news, because God has it in hand.
Yes.
He has everything in hand, and our impression about it, if it's just from the manifest and from fear and things like that, is completely off. It's a matter of trusting what you can't see. You can't see the other side of it, but you do know, and you can trust that it's perfectly in order.
Yes.
Even though it seems so out of order on this side of it at times. It's
Yes.
actually perfectly in order. And that's where faith is, because it's the unseen side. You put your faith in God, that he he can see both sides. And as a matter of fact, he designed both sides. So
Yes.
it's just foolish to get upset about it. You can
Yeah.
walk in peace.
Yes.
So it's a very, very wonderful writing and everything, and revelation that you do and Vinereb has done, and that the Bible is giving us, has given us, as you say, has already given us this. All right, that's my comment on that. So thank you for listening to
Thank you
it.
so much. Thank you so much. Jill, Fernando, would you like to share with us something?
I'm just grateful. I liked listening to Jeff's explanation, and so I'm just grateful listening today.
Thank you. And Fernando?
Yes, I just want to thank you so much, Eti and friends. It was an amazing journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We wish you a wonderful weekend and beautiful week ahead. And we can meet here on Monday at the same time. Thank you so much and Shabbat Shalom. And thanks to you,
Shabbat
Victoria.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Ati. Shabbat shalom. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you so much.